I've been a climber since I was 16 years old, so that's nearly 30 years now, and it's always been, the biggest passion in my life, and I've always loved climbing indoors and outdoors and in the mountains. Certainly learning to climb again after the accident was very different, not because of the physical differences, but because there was no one else doing the same thing. There was no one else learning to climb without hands and feet. So I was having to make it all up as I went along, and I was having to learn. Everything was new, and everything presented its own challenges. The recent surge in interest in paraclimbing competition has been amazing, because I've been a disabled climber now for 15 years, and there's hardly there's a few people doing it, but the few disabled people climbing, but to see it really taking off in a competitive top-end level is just amazing. Why I was so keen to organise a competition like this.
As a disabled person, I don't think I really consider myself disabled. I'm just me with removable parts. So it's a way of life. It's my lifestyle. It's what I do.
I've climbed actually for on and off since probably was about 17, 18. I'd got introduced through school and carried on and just loved the outdoors and being climbing, but I stopped for when I got diagnosed with the MS because I'd had a number of attacks, and I just found that I wasn't enjoying it, couldn't climb as well as I used to, so I'm back into climbing.
Female paraclimbing has grown massively over the past couple of years, and I think it's reached the point where men and female are equal as paraclimbing. But because it's growing as a sport, it's getting easier for people to come and try and have a go, as there is other female climbers and other female paraclimbers making a big difference in climbing. And it doesn't really matter what disability you have, it doesn't really matter what gender you are. So if you would like to try paraclimbing or climbing if you're not disabled, then it's something that you can come and try, and something that you can really learn to love and enjoy.
The impact we're having as females and paraclimbers on the climbing community, we're opening people's eyes to what's possible, obviously. Well, physically and psychologically, I think a disabled person can gain in many ways from taking up climbing. For instance, for somebody like myself, I have an incomplete spinal cord injury, and I've kind of gained a lot more strength from being a climber, particularly in my hands and my arms, so my everyday life transfers and getting about in my chair has become easier. For an amputee, balance, core strength, which is really important for everyday life. So there's a lot of throwover to everyday life. For somebody who's visually impaired, coordination and communication skills can be honed when improved climbing. And then, therefore, climbing can have a massive impact on the rest of your life. And psychologically, it's a really good kind of motivator. You test yourself every day, so it's a really good way to kind of pitch yourself against yourself, not against anyone else. And push the boundaries of what's possible, which then throws over into everyday life and pushing yourself in everyday life.